Oh my geek!
That's how it's got
That's us, man.
It's got a showy run.
Keeping it classy. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Ooh,
Fun.
I feel better.
I know. And we can hear He-Man.
Yep.
He-Man.
No one told me to turn it off, so I just thought it'd be good
All
background.
right, that's
noise.
fine. You can leave it.
Yeah. So we were
That's
recording.
That's the ambiance.
We were recording out on the sales floor today.
That's right. We are.
The shop's actually still open. There's
We're
just nobody
doing-
here right now.
We are doing another in-shop recording.
Much quieter this time.
Live and on location.
Yes.
That's right.
Well, no, as Jesse likes to point out to me all the time, we're not actually live.
Well,
But I think
he
that-
doesn't
once
like
they
when we say
listen to
that.
it, yeah, true.
But I think,
Semantics.
though, that we might do... I'm always up for semantics. That for our listeners, I think we are going to look at doing an actual live broadcast because now Podbean will allow us to do that.
Nifty.
Yeah, so we'll arrange that once we actually figure out podcasting in general. Then we'll work on figuring out.
We're
live
still a
podcasting.
relatively young podcast. We've only been doing this since 2015.
Oh yeah, we're still
We're only kindergarten age as far as podcast goes.
right.
Yeah. We need to do like a first day of school episode.
Well, the last day of school coming up.
Will you guys be my friend?
Sign my yearbook.
KIT.
I actually remember what I wore.
Let's all
my
meet at the
first-
quad for lunch.
No, I actually remember like what I wore my first day of kindergarten, and I remember because there's a
you got beat up?
myriad of no.
Yeah.
There's like dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds
You
of
got rolled
pictures
for your milk money?
of that day. Was that?
You got rolled for your milk money?
No,
Oh.
no. My kindergarten class was only 3 hours long. I started at noon. I got off at 3.
Well, that sounds like most kindergarten classes.
So
Yeah.
like I had lunch beforehand.
Yeah, they don't do like 8 hours for kindergarten.
I went to a weird school, so I don't know what they do at other schools.
7 of it's nap.
We didn't have nap time. I never. When I see that in movies, I was always like, they do that.
Some of them did. I remember. Yeah, I remember in
Yeah,
kindergarten having nap
half
time.
an hour or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't have nap time. They didn't give us like milk or anything like that.
Why not?
You sure you weren't in jail?
Well, actually, if you had seen my elementary school, it was a rather violent place. Lots of drugs, lots of, it was very common for someone to get busted with like a knife or something in elementary school. And again, I mentioned drugs. That was common.
Good times.
Yeah,
Well, that's why they weren't giving you guys milk.
yeah.
Just sell
Maybe
it.
we needed more nap time though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe if you had nap time, that would have eliminated the drug problem. You're right.
But no, it was different. It was
All the
unique.
knife fights.
All the knife fights.
Wouldn't be so cranky.
But I found out, actually, it wasn't until I got to high school that I realized the schools I had gone to throughout my life were
Baby
abnormal and violent.
Baby Nick running for student body.
In the kitchen.
When I was going to middle school, my school was the most like violent school in the Salinas High School district.
Sure.
High school was very mellow. I didn't really see a lot of like violence in high school. That was the culture shock.
Well,
for
they
me.
got it all out in kindergarten.
Well, there was cops on campus.
In kindergarten?
No, in high school.
Oh, well,
There
that's
was-
most
yeah,
high schools
yeah.
nowadays, unfortunately.
But once I got to high school, like I said, it was like, oh man, this is pretty chill. There's nothing's really happening here. I found out that my upbringing was the weird one, was the abnormal, the unusual one. But and also high school was not that fun. It was pretty boring.
All right.
Yeah, I missed all that action.
You missed all the action you
All
had
the
in
action.
kindergarten?
Yeah.
Missed all that action, boss.
Walking to, like, second day of school in high school. Where's all the knife fights? What's going on?
I'm shaking the tree, boss. I'm shaking the tree.
They give you milk? What milk? What's this?
Yeah.
I need me some drugs.
No, in middle school, I ended up getting put in a program that I later found out was for all the troubled kids. like all the violent offenders and whatnot. And I, to this day,
I
have
wonder
no
why,
idea.
Mr. Knife Fight Drugs.
I have no idea why I was put in that program, but it took me a while before I figured it out. Right? It was kind of like so. I went to like a year-round school.
Was it when you realized that everybody in there was stabbing each other?
No, I
and
was
none
talking
of the other
to,
classes were?
No, I was talking to the teacher.
Cranked
at one
out
point.
with red eyes.
She broke it down to me, but no, it was So I went to a year-round school, and so like our summertime was different, right?
Right.
And it was when we just called it on break,
In the
right?
summertime.
And it was I was required to come back during break,
Right.
and it was like a full day of classes is what it was, but it was one singular class instead of like you go to different ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew everyone in there, and I started kind of thinking, why are we all here? And then I ended up talking to the teacher, and then she broke it down for me. Oh, this is for like the troubled, violent kids, and I was like, why am I here? Like, I didn't really get into a lot of fights then. I was like, apparently they were just concerned.
I know. I look at your T-shirt and I gotta wonder.
Oh, my Steve from Stranger Things T-shirt.
I dig that shirt.
Yeah, that's a good shirt.
Girlfriend got it for me for Christmas.
Babysitter of the year.
She also got me one that said it was in the Stranger Things title font, and it said "Keep the door open 3 inches."
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
The thing I would have loved to have gotten, but obviously it sold out incredibly quick and was also very expensive. Do you see the Stranger Things Lego set?
Yes.
Yeah.
That has the upside down.
It's ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
It's
It looks.
a good 3 feet tall. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the downside of Legos. I love them. I passionately love Legos,
They're
but it's
expensive
all
as hell.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
even
sets
the
are.
cheap ones are expensive.
Wait. Even the cheap ones are expensive.
Well, because like for like $20, you get like a really
Okay.
tiny Lego thing, and I
Oh,
think
yeah,
like
yeah,
for
yeah.
$20, like I should.
Yeah,
get
but they give you like
something more.
3 or 4 minifigures. It's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, to an extent, but I mean, like, it's just why are Legos that expensive?
Because.
Were they always that expensive? Should I go
kind
apologize to
of.
my dad?
Kind of.
For all the money he spent on
For-
Legos when I was a kid.
Thank him.
I went through and looked at all the old sets on one of the websites, and I was like, "Holy cow! I had a lot of sets. I didn't even realize."
There's an Instagram account. Oh, I think we all follow it. Toys That Made Us. They post they'll post like
I've heard of them.
like screenshots of like the old KB toy ads and
Yeah,
sale ads. And
I
like,
know.
Yeah.
this is what things used to cost.
I know.
You get a Batmobile for like $30 back then.
What's a
Yeah.
toy store?
Speaking of Toy Store, so my brother today was at one in Indiana. He told me about it a couple of weeks ago that he was going to go to it, and I forget what he said it's called, but he sent me pictures, and it literally is just rows of pristine, like old Star Wars
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
But not just a ton of Star Wars stuff, but they had just had. I mean, it looked amazing.
But it's not like a chain store, right?
No,
it's like a mom and pop kinda?
yeah, it's a big mom and pop, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Is it Gary, Indiana? Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana.
Isn't that where the
Gary,
Jacksons are
Indiana?
from Gary?
Sure.
No, it's in Kokomo, Indiana.
Kokomo.
Yeah,
Way down
way down in Kokomo.
Bermuda,
Kokomo.
Bahama. Come on, pretty mama.
Oh, it's actually called the Kokomo Toy Store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you were serious?
Yeah,
Is there a place
no,
called Kokomo?
Yes.
We'll get there fast, and then we'll take
But yeah,
it
like look,
slow.
so here's their
That's
he
where
sent me
we
pictures.
wanna
Here's their
go.
picture of the Funko aisle.
Way
Holy
down in
cow.
Kokomo. That's pretty.
rows and rows of
Yeah.
Funko.
I miss toy stores, man.
Right? And then some of the they're, Power of the Force stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean they look mint, hanging on the racks.
How glorious Toys R Us was when we used to walk into that.
I was gonna say,
Yeah. Basically it's what it looks like, but then of course they have a lot of the older original stuff, boxed and whatnot. So like I'm looking at here the pictures you sent me of, vintage, mint in card R2D2,
Oh, my.
for $800, Obi-Wan for $475.
I was gonna say like nowadays a lot of people rag on the Power of the Force line, but when it was coming out, I absolutely loved it.
Well, I mean, everybody liked it because finally new Star Wars toys were coming out. It's just that they made them like all bulky and muscular,
The first couple of waves, yeah.
But they
But
did
then
start changing
They
afterwards.
and
I mean, who doesn't want a Jack C-3PO?
and then remember
Okay,
how
there's some
someone,
stuff on here I'm not going to show you because when I looked at this, I realized the Christmas presents that I'm looking for you guys. So I won't show you that. But there's
Nick's building something to surprise us. He won't even tell me what.
Oh,
it
really?
is.
Oh,
Yeah.
He just goes earlier. He goes, "Oh, the parts came in."
Wait
I was
a
like,
second.
For what? He goes, "Oh, I'm
were you
building
watching
something."
Weird Science again?
Oh, if you're gonna build me a Kelly LeBrock, I will totally accept.
I don't have that kind of capabilities at my house to plug into nuclear reactors.
If anyone else out there is building a Kelly LeBrock,
the
you
Midwest.
can tweet me at Nick_Black or at #Nick.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'm very interested.
No, but so he.
Or I'd just like to meet Kelly LeBrock. That'd be fun.
I'm really
too.
glad my girlfriend doesn't listen to this.
But,
'cause I don't think she would appreciate that.
But he told me a couple of weeks ago that he was going there, and so he went there today and sent me pictures and stuff. So was like,
I want to
"Ooh."
go now.
I know.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Road trip.
Yeah, next time I find myself in Kokomo, Indiana, I'm going to meet the Kokomo Toy Store.
But try
If
explain.
you find yourself in Kokomo, Indiana,
I can only imagine.
since you can't get to Current Comics,
Yeah.
get yourself to Kokomo Toy Store.
No, I can only imagine trying to explain to my girlfriend, why are you going to Indiana? To buy Star Wars toys. Can't you do it on the internet? I could, but they got them in Kokomo.
But I know they're there.
Yeah.
It's a road trip.
How much money you're going to spend traveling there? But it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
It's a road trip. That's the point.
Well, for Nick, it'd be a business trip.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yep.
for me, too.
Yeah.
It'd be a business trip.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Swell.
Oh, man, I got to do my taxes.
Oh,
Oh, let's not talk taxes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Taxes suck.
well, now I'm sad.
But on the bright side, I got my health insurance thing taken care of.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
for those who
We-
don't know,
we-
I had a little scare. I went to go pay my bill, which normally is very cheap because of affordable health care. And my bill was $600, and I didn't know why. So I called some people, had to get transferred to different departments because they didn't know why either. And it turns out
that's what you get for not getting sick.
that there was some consent form that I don't remember consenting to originally, but it had expired. And the penalty was $600. But apparently, though, just reconsenting waives that $600 fee.
Oh.
So everything's back to normal now.
Oh, good.
But I was pretty worried there for a minute because I don't even have $600 in my bank account, and it was due on the 1st.
Yikes.
Adulting sucks, guys.
it does.
Yeah.
For those of you who have not had to adult yet, I highly recommend don't adult at all until you have absolutely no choice whatsoever.
And we say that as we stand in the middle of a comic shop. Oh, boy. So,
Well, poor Cringer.
it's been a fun week.
It was a fun week.
Well,
actually.
so the big entertainment news this week started off as the Academy Award nominations came out.
And they're good this time.
So
Well, not everybody thinks so.
Oh, that's true.
good-ish.
Yeah.
So jump down to Best Picture. I think that's the big one.
Yes.
Why are they not doing? Oh, I know why they're doing it this order. Sorry, I'm on the Academy's
the
website.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting to the specific category there too because you think it'd be either on the top or on the bottom, and it's like somewhere in the
Mossman.
middle.
Well, also too for our listeners, normally I'd have my laptop in front of us, but since we're in the
We're doing it guerrilla style.
since we're in the shop portion of the shop.
We're in the jungle of the comic book shop. We're in the action here, guys.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of the
We're
action.
missing Moss Man.
Oh, I like Mossman. You
Yeah.
can't use him on Snake Mountain.
Here
or
we
the
go.
slime pit, I
Okay,
mean.
so best motion
You can't use him on the slime pit.
Best-
There was
Oh
like
yeah,
instructions. He's blocked.
the
Yeah.
fur.
best motion picture of the year. Ford versus Ferrari,
Yep, that's one of them.
The Irishman,
That was good. I liked it.
Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story,
I loved it.
1917,
Gonna see that tomorrow.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Really dug that movie.
and Parasite.
Really want to see Parasite.
9.
And Parasite is nominated for best
lose
international
one?
film too.
Say that again?
We lose one.
That's what I got.
No, it was 9. It's 9. Yeah.
I thought there's
They
10.
never do the full.
They
10,
can do up to 10.
but they never do.
So
10.
let's just do 5 and go back to the way it was.
I
and so we
know.
don't have to deal
Yeah,
with this.
the whole theory behind it was so that popular movies could have a chance, but they never stick to that number every year,
Yeah.
and they don't really fully explain why they do some years and why they don't other years. Have more. It just and also too, if you're going to expand the Best Picture category, which I'm fine with having more nominees, I'm perfectly fine with. I think they should also expand Best Director,
Yep.
Best Original Screenplay,
Best actor.
and
Best actress,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think all the leading categories should have as many nominations as the Best Picture. Or I think.
Let's keep it 5. Let's make this simple.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
and
agree
I'm
with-
fine
yeah.
going back to 5 as
Yeah.
well.
But I was surprised The Two Popes was not nominated for Best Picture when you consider, you got both Best Supporting Actor and Best Actor. Like, it's getting all its accolades, and it just, you could, I mean, I'm not saying, like, I haven't seen it yet. I'm not saying it should be, but we're talking about how, they could do 10. They always do 8, 9. Why not throw another movie in there just because, right?
I never understood why they'll have like a Best Director candidate, but they won't be up for Best Picture.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how could the film have a be nominated for the Best Director, but his directing wasn't good enough for his movie to be, or
Yeah.
I should say their movie,
Yeah.
to be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Academy works in mysterious ways.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as does the MPAA. Oh, it's for me.
Duty calls.
Tell
Blow
him
it
I'm
up.
not here.
Talk amongst yourself.
Okay.
Come and knock on my door.
I was surprised to see how many nominations Ford versus Ferrari got, because I mean, from I haven't seen it yet, but and people really loved it,
Yeah.
but it seemed to come and go very quickly.
Yeah, it didn't seem to hold out. Like, it's usually out a month. I don't know if it went a full month like it normally does. For
I don't think
movies that size.
Yeah, and so to see it getting the accolades that it is, I mean, it's kind of nice, but that surprised me.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand. Like, he was bringing up Parasite, how that can get the nomination for Best Foreign Film, but then they'll also include it in the Best Original Film category.
Mm.
See, I guess I understand the fact that they said the Academy believes it's one of the best pictures of the year. Okay,
Right.
I get it. But if it's already nominated for the Best Foreign Film,
Yeah, it's almost like it's gonna be
that seems to me like that took a nomination away
from something else.
from something
yeah.
else.
Now, how many movies have been nominated for 2 film categories? It's
Like
not
that?
common, right?
No, it's not very common.
Yeah, because I don't remember if that happened with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It may have.
What about animation? Do we have any? That'd be the only other thing I can think of would be an animated film.
No, because the only animated film to ever get a Best Picture nomination was Beauty and the Beast, and that's why they created the Best Animated Feature Film, because everybody was so upset that Beauty and the Beast got nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And so since then, no animated films have ever been, nominated for Best Original Picture.
I was going to say a minute ago when you brought up Crouching Tiger. Fun fact about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Here
we
we go.
loved it here, right? In the Western world, it was a huge hit. In China, not so much.
Huh.
It was actually very critically panned. The 2 lead actors, Mandarin is not their first language. And
Oh.
apparently their Mandarin was really bad. So in the mainland China, it was not a well-received film.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But we love it out here, though. I
we're-
can't even tell you how many times I've watched it.
We're dumb Americans. I never saw the sequel on Netflix.
It's not good.
That's what I heard.
And
That's why I never
really
bothered watching
wanted it to be good.
Oh.
Because on paper it sounded awesome. I love the cast. It's got Donnie Yen in it. Donnie Yen's one of my favorite actors of all time. It just was not really good at all.
Mhm.
I mean, and it seemed like a hard thing to mess up. All you gotta really do is be a solid action movie, and it
Right.
wasn't even really a solid action movie.
And then I guess the big news out of the nominees was Joker, getting
With 11
nominations,
Mm-hmm.
and including Best Picture.
Yeah.
And right now, that seems to be the favorite.
Yep, that's what I keep telling people. It's
Yeah.
like I haven't seen it. I don't have any interest in it.
Right.
But if I were to bet money, I'd say that's probably gonna win as many awards as as it possibly can.
Yeah. As of right now, it really at least seems that Joaquin is probably a lock for leading actor.
I'm calling Todd Phillips for director.
Okay, so he's up against Scorsese for The Irishman.
I think Scorsese will finally get it.
I don't know, because I think the other...
I think it's about time they actually give it to him.
Oh, he's never actually won it before, huh?
No.
Right.
Yeah, The Departed won Best Picture, but he didn't win Best Director, right?
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's very possible. It could be his career.
Yeah.
But
Kind of like John Wayne getting True Grit, which is one of his weaker performances.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll say this though: if The Irishman doesn't win at least Best Visual Effects, I will.
wait,
riot.
didn't he win for The Departed?
I think he won Best Director. I know it won. Hold on, I'll look this up, guys.
He
Talk
didn't
amongst
win.
yourself.
I don't think he won.
And
I have computer access. I'll look it up.
Ooh.
But I think if it doesn't go to him,
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's actually going to be Sam Mendes for 1917.
Yeah, it's either it'll be him, huh?
American Beauty won Best Picture, right? I don't know if it won Best Director, but
Right.
Yeah, picture, yes.
So that's who I'm thinking if it doesn't go to Scorsese for a career.
Yeah.
Well, first off,
Or it's going to be Tarantino. It's going to be one of those three. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be Joker.
Yeah,
I think Joaquin will win, and I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, I don't
for
think
the major categories.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give it to Tarantino for directing.
Yeah,
they seem to look the other way as far as his directing goes. His writing they love, but directing they seem to look the other way.
Martin Scorsese won Best Director for The Departed.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I thought that he got his career one for The Departed because a lot of people thought that it wasn't really. The Goodfellas really should have been the one that he won because it was a great movie. Even though The Departed was good, that year he didn't. It wasn't the standout, and that was the career one. So my bet, is going to go to Sam Mendes. I think.
Yeah.
But I think the dark horse coming in now is Parasite. So Bong Joon-ho. So may sneak in and get it as well.
Yeah.
Because that's getting a lot of traction. 1917 and Parasite are the ones that are gaining a lot of traction right now.
Yeah.
Since the nominations have come out.
I'm so excited. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I almost saw this last week. Like if I was not able to convince my girlfriend to watch Star Wars last weekend, that was my backup. Was all right. I'm gonna go see 1917 then. But she was like, "No, we can go see Star Wars finally." It was her first time watching it.
Did she like it?
She did, but she likes almost everything. So that's. It's very rare that she doesn't like a movie, and when she doesn't like a movie, it's usually really good. She doesn't like Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I know, right?
And once again, the ceremony is going to go without a host.
Did we really need a host?
It was fine last year when they had no host. I thought it moved better than it has for a while. Even though I really like Kimmel, and I always thought that he did a great job hosting. When they had no host last year, I thought it worked great.
Yeah,
it moved along nicely. So, yeah.
Let's talk about the Oscars. How many Razzies do you think that Cats is going to win this year? We never talk about the Razzies.
Yeah, that's a good.
We never do.
Yeah.
I think it's going to win all of them.
It'll take all the
every
Razzies.
Category. I think the Razzies is just going to be just one like 2-hour celebration of Cats. Right?
It'll be the sequel.
It'll change the name from the Razzies to the Catties.
Let's see what
It's almost unfair, like how easy it is to make fun of a movie that I haven't even seen. It's almost unfair. It is fair because they made that, and they should have known better.
Yeah.
But still, I almost feel sympathy for him.
Never mind. I was gonna say it's in the dictionary between certain words, but that's fine.
Yeah. What's that from? What movie is that from?
I've never heard of a movie.
I know it's a line from a movie. It's in the dictionary between that S word and syphilis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and looking on the actual Razzies website, they haven't announced their nominations yet.
Oh.
They're going to announce them on Saturday, February the 8th, which is the day before the Oscars.
Yeah.
We'll have something to look forward to.
And according to their website, this year, the Razzies are going to be televised.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Which they've never been televised before.
Does it say where they're going to be
televised?
televised?
They have a host.
Right.
They should get Ricky Gervais.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's all the news right now on the Razzies website. So once those nominated, we'll have fun with that. But hey, yeah, I think you're right. Yes, I think Cats will be the go-getter.
Yeah.
That's going to sweep the Razzies.
We shall dress in cat costumes.
Or it could be between that and Holmes and Watson.
Oh, I forgot that
which
came out last year.
apparently was awful.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it before. I'm
Right.
not the biggest of Will Ferrell fans. When he's
Right.
funny, I love him, but that's a big win, you know, because it's not always like I love Old School, I love Step Brothers, I love the first Anchorman. I never saw the second one. I think that might be it for me.
Yeah,
I like Talladega Nights,
Yeah, see, and I wasn't
Yeah.
a fan of Step Brothers. I know people love that
Um,
one. I couldn't stand that movie
but like,
because again, dumb people.
but I mean, like, then you have like Bewitched,
Oh yeah,
Semi-Pro.
I actually enjoy
What was that
Semi-Pro.
skater one?
Yeah, that's all right.
Or the ice skating one he did. Him
Blades
and
of
the dude
Glory.
From,
Blades of Glory.
Yeah, that was him and the dude from Napoleon Dynamite,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I think he's got more misses than hits.
Right.
I don't know. I know
get
people love him. It's just kind of like
I get it.
whatever with me.
It's too bad because he really likes you.
He should. I'm awesome, apparently. He should like me. Everyone should like me.
Oh.
Well,
All right. What are the categories for the Oscars? Should we talk about?
Best. Scarlett Johansson is nominated for both Best Actress and Actress in a Supporting Role,
That is correct.
I believe the
Which-
third time it's happened.
I believe so.
which means I'm rooting for her to win both. Just because of how rare that is. Also, pulling for Parasite for the exact same reason.
I think that's the dark horse.
Yeah.
I think that's the dark horse to win.
But can you imagine how upset people would be if
it
like
won both?
one movie or one actress wins two categories? You know, like people would
Like,
be
really?
furious.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, here's what I'm surprised with. For A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood,
Mhm.
Tom Hanks was put in the supporting actor.
Yeah,
category.
Yeah, and he was like that with the nominated like that. That was the nomination for Golden Globes too, right? He was
Yeah.
nominated for
Well,
Best
having
Actor,
not seen the
Supporting Actor.
film, who, even though he's supposed to be the title character, well, I don't
So,
know. I don't
yeah.
know how that works.
But my assumption is the movie's about the reporter
It
doing
is.
the article. But I mean,
It
it
is.
is misleading.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah. But still.
But it's like we were talking earlier, like, you know, I finally watched The Irishman, and it's not really a movie about The Irishman. It's really a movie about Jimmy Hoffa.
Right.
But it's a misleading title,
Yeah.
you know?
But you were talking about Scarlett. So, yeah. So, for leading actor, she's nominated for Marriage Story, and then for supporting for Jojo Rabbit, which I haven't seen yet, but I really want to see.
yeah, I
Because
haven't
that's
seen
supposed
it
to
either.
be really good.
She is absolutely incredible in Marriage Story.
Well, she's a great actress.
She is. She really is.
You know, and I think that maybe sometimes people kind of forget that because, you know, for the past decade, you know, she's been known as a Marvel star.
Yeah.
And I think that for people that are in Marvel movies, people tend to forget that many of them are also very accomplished, you know, actors and actresses.
Yeah. No, she's fantastic in the movie. Adam Driver is like incredible. He might be my favorite thing about the movie. You know, it's really weird because, like, you know, being here in a comic book shop, Star Wars comes up a lot, right? And which also means Kylo Ren comes up a lot, and people
I've
either
heard of it.
love the character or hate him, and it really comes down to whether they like
What is the
the
Star
actor or
Wars
not,
you
right?
speak of?
But no, I find that, like, if someone doesn't like Adam Driver, they don't like Kylo Ren, right?
Okay.
But you hear a lot of people come in here and rag on him, and like literally everything I've ever seen him in has blown me away. Like even like Girls, that's a terrible show, but he's incredible on
He's
that
really
show,
good in that.
and he's what kept me watching it for as long as I did. Eventually, I stopped because I just couldn't hang anymore.
Right.
But that's how good he is.
So I was after watching the pilot. I was like, nope, this show is not for me.
It's awful. It is awful. But he kept me watching every week for a good 3 years, and there's I can't. I'm not going to describe the scene because it's both spoilery and out of context too. But there's one scene at the end of the movie where like he made me want to cry, and I'm not a crier, right? Like I'm not that emotional person, but it really got to me. And I've never even been divorced, right? I never have, but it's a very real movie that stirs up a lot of very real emotions. And like so far of the ones I've seen, it's my favorite. You know, we'll see how I feel tomorrow after seeing 1917, and then I'm gonna try to see the others, except for Joker. I'm okay with not watching Joker.
And then this year, John Williams now has the record as far as nominations for the score for Rise of Skywalker.
How many's that now?
I don't know. I think I'll say like 107. No, it's not that many.
It's like, holy cow.
That's why it's a record.
Yeah. I think
What is the record for most Oscar nominations, either in a single or
Category?
over your career? I don't really know. Does anybody know?
I'm going to have to disagree with your police work there, Jesse.
You don't think it was 107?
I don't think so.
I believe. I have
Seems
faith.
a little high.
107. I also don't know what we're talking about either.
52 nominations.
That's close. 52,
What?
107.
What's
I
the
was
next?
in the ballpark.
What's the next closest?
51.
For who?
John Williams Jr. No,
I was like, what is this? Price is Right? You got one more over? Yeah.
51 for
What
Andy
is?
Williams.
Who is?
I don't know. Aren't you just glad I got you that
Yeah,
answer?
There you go.
Jeez.
I want more.
All right, Veruca.
Give me more.
But I mean, I think that's a given. He composes a Star Wars movie, he gets a nomination.
Absolutely.
And deservedly so. It's a great score.
Yeah.
Well, name a better composer than John Williams.
Elmer Bernstein. It's one of the few composers I could give you.
I thought you were going to say like Alan
Beethoven.
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 Oh, boy.
Wolfgang Mozart.
Amadeus.
Amadeus.
I was surprised that there weren't a lot of nominations for Rocket Man.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Really?
Other than music, is there any?
Yeah, most musicals don't really
But you think, but you think,
make any stuff for the.
but you think to last year with Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yeah.
for a movie.
Yeah, well, that really shouldn't have gotten.
No, it
nominated
shouldn't
either.
have. But you think about it, for a movie where the leading actor lip synced the entire thing to a movie that he actually performed,
Yeah.
and that really didn't get any nominations.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that
especially-
surprised me.
Especially when it was, pretty big at the Golden Globes too.
Yeah, well, Golden Globes is a whole other thing. I mean,
I know, but
we've
it's
we've
just-
talked about that before. I mean, you pretty much buy a Golden Globe.
Yeah, but I still think, I was expecting it to be in one of the other major categories, right? I still haven't seen it, but I would guess it's probably better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, possibly.
That's what everybody has said,
Yeah.
because it also didn't shy away from
The ugly stuff.
the ugly stuff in
Yeah.
his life, but it was also done more of a fantasy as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we will see what happens when the winners are announced on February the 9th. Visual effects, of course, Avengers Endgame, Irishman, Lion King. I don't know. I still have a problem with that.
I really think it should go to Irishman. I mean, they spent like almost 2 years in just post production, just working on the de-aging, and it's incredible. Like, I'm very critical of CGI. That people who listen to this a long time know I hate it, or I hate the overuse of it. But it's fantastic in this, and he doesn't even really de-age them that much. Like, it's very nice looking. Like, they still look, appropriately aged, but
normal. They look normal.
They look normal, yeah, but they also definitely look younger, and it's, for the most part, it's not really noticeable.
Right.
Something like Avengers Endgame, like, is it, good visual effects? Yeah, but
you also
not throughout the whole film.
But you also know it's a visual effect.
Yeah, you're very well
I think that's
aware.
one of the things.
Yeah.
So besides those three, 1917 and Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
Now, everything I've heard about 1917, it's it's edited to look like it's one long shot.
Right.
We know, obviously, it's not.
Yeah.
But I think that right there, when you can do that to make it appear like it's one shot, that's always impressive.
So for me, I think that is what's going to put it make it the leading contender for probably cinematography and editing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, isn't it nice to see like some World War I movies? It's been a long time. I know, like, there's like I've seen Gallipoli,
Sergeant York.
but there's not nearly as many World War I movies as there is World War II.
I wanted to see the Peter Jackson documentary. They Grow Old.
That's right.
That came out, I think, last year.
I think it was last year.
That's the one I wanted to see.
I haven't even heard of it, so I'm gonna look that up later.
It looks really good.
Yeah. And then adapted screenplay: The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and the Two Popes. And then original: Knives Out, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. I think that it's going to be between Once Upon a Time and Parasite. Because again, Parasite just really seems like the dark horse coming in
Yeah.
into this year with the Oscars.
God, I really want to see Parasite.
Although I do know that a lot of people I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of people love Knives Out.
Yes, that was a very popular movie.
Yeah.
That
it's just a great, fun mystery. But I know it's like, I forget what the Rotten Tomato score is, but it's
I think
really,
it's like
really high.
97.
Yeah.
They're already talking sequel.
Yeah.
So.
But so here at the shop, I've had a lot of people go, "Did you know that Ryan Johnson directed Knives Out?" Well, yes, he does make good movies.
Do you know you're an idiot?
Good. Just not when they.
Yeah. I've been showing the trailer for Brick to a lot of people who were like, "What do you mean Ryan Johnson doesn't suck?" I'm like, okay, I hated Last Jedi too, but look at the rest of his resume.
Yeah.
He's actually rather good.
So I'm curious with Joker for adapted screenplay, because it wasn't really adapted from any of the books.
No, that's true.
No.
But since
It's very roughly,
yeah,
and yes, it's a character that we all know.
yeah. I think that is the loophole that they're
I
using
think so.
to get it in there.
Yeah,
Kind of like how at the Golden Globes, it's like a best musical or comedy.
right.
There might have been a joke in there, so
Yeah.
technically it's a comedy.
Yeah.
It fits, right? Remember a couple years ago when Martian won, and then Ridley Scott walked up and said, "Comedy? No."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yet they do it every year.
Well, that also happens with the Emmys a lot as well.
That's
Like
true. Yeah.
I remember Nurse Betty, like every year was getting nominated and winning in the best comedy category, and it's not a
funny.
comedy
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
So again, what do people know? People are dumb.
I'll say this though: after watching Phoebe Waller-Bridge win yet again at the Golden Globes, I thought maybe I should look into this woman. Right? She keeps winning awards, right? So I started watching Fleabag, and now I am completely in love with that woman. She is fantastic. Her shows are very funny, and I need more because Fleabag is very short, and it's over, and I kind of regret starting it now because it was really good, and now it's gone
Oh,
forever. It'll never be back.
ever,
I mean,
ever?
you never know. I don't know.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
But
You're right. You're right. Character on He-Man. He is very sensitive.
I forgot this was playing. But Netflix though, man, like Netflix is killing it right now.
25
really are.
nominations.
Mm-hmm.
Between 3 films, and it's I still haven't seen Two Popes. I might watch it tonight because Netflix.
Wasn't that a song by the Spin Doctors?
Sure.
What? Netflix? Might watch it tonight. I can't name a Spin Doctor song to be honest with you.
Two Kings,
Okay, well now I can.
like their only song, like their only hit.
I was gonna say I remember hearing a lot about the Spin Doctors.
At
when I was a
least
kid.
one of our listeners laughed, so
Yeah.
that's all that matters to me.
I can't even name anyone in the band.
I've got a Soul Asylum song stuck in my head now, which is not the same thing. Runaway train and never looking back.
No, you want to hear a really random like
No.
one hit wonder thing? I had a
No.
friend who had the Color Me Bad album.
Oh, wow.
Color Me Bad.
Yeah. Was that what it's called?
Well, no, because they had
Multiple
it's
Ds.
like 3 Ds.
Oh yeah. They had 2 hits out of that, and then that's it. Although they still tour apparently. There's a very sad video of them playing at like. It looks like it's in a high school gym. I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
sounds about right.
the lead is like drunk, and he starts physically fighting with the other members, and
Oh, okay.
Well,
it's really sad.
They are Color Me Bad.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good. Okay, so maybe our next show, assuming we're doing it when the show, in our regular space, and we have all of our gear hooked up,
Yeah.
we'll do one hit wonders.
Okay.
I think that'll be a good one.
I'll start diving deep.
Yeah, so start pulling out your favorite one hit wonders. If our listeners have any suggestions on one hit wonders that are some of their favorites, shoot them to us at Oh My Geek Podcast.
I'll do some like hardcore deep dive in like Tony Terry or something like that.
All right.
Or what about Tommy T? Remember Tommy T?
Yep.
She's like the wind.
Oh, Patrick.
No Rick Astley. That doesn't count.
No, well, he was more than one hit.
Well, and his biggest hit is still kind of a hit now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Thanks to the internet.
Yep.
Oh, hey, speaking of hits,
Yes.
So in the world of sports,
Oh, here we go.
there was a team that was getting hits that they shouldn't have been getting hits.
Yep, a lot of them too.
So we normally don't really talk a lot about sports, often on our show. It comes up every now and then, but I think this is very topical, and
Sports ball.
so the Houston Astros, it was officially announced or officially said by Major League Baseball that they were cheating. So MLB suspended
The manager and the general manager for 1 year.
for 1 year, and then as soon as they handed that down, the team owner immediately fired them
Right.
Yes.
Baseball also took away 2 of their draft picks
for the next 2 years, right?
for the first and second round.
And then were they fined? I want to say
$5
million.
million.
$5
$5 million, because
million.
that's the
Yeah.
maximum that they can be fined.
which is like nothing. To
Yeah.
them.
No, but
Yeah.
it's still the point of the matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the amount; it's the fact that they hit them with everything they could.
Yeah.
So the controversy is that they were stealing signs from the opposing team.
Yeah.
Now, not just that they were stealing signs, because that's happened since the invention of baseball.
Yep.
It was how they were doing it. It was the fact that they actually set up technology and put a system in place where they could then tell their batters what was coming.
Yeah, they had buzzers taped to their chest.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
According to MLB, they said that they haven't. They looked at that and
Found
weren't able
no
to prove it.
evidence, even though
Yeah.
there's like video evidence.
So what they were able to prove was that there was a camera that was set up at the back of the field
Yeah.
that would then broadcast to the dugout, and then a player in the dugout would then bang on a trash can,
Yeah.
signaling to the batters what was coming.
And there's like video evidence of that too.
Yeah, there's tons of video evidence.
Yeah.
bang, bang.
Yeah, and then this week, people started talking about that. It seemed that they also had vibrating or buzzing things that were on them.
Well, you can see there's video of them like where the jersey's a little too like open. You can
Right.
see it taped there. Or Josh Reddick, he took his jersey off, for the post game
Yeah.
interview, and it's visible on there. And that sucks because Josh Reddick used to be one of my favorite players.
And then
now he's dead to me.
yeah, and then their little tiny batter, basically begging his teammates not to rip off his
Jose
jersey.
Altuve.
Jose Altuve, that dirty rat bastard.
Wow.
So of course, fans, of the teams that they beat, have gone to the extremes of filing lawsuits, demanding that MLB give them the title. And okay, I understand, because I wanted the Dodgers to win. I don't think. Well, first off, they're not going to hand them the title.
Well, you
No.
can't do
That's
that
just not
because
going to happen.
None of the
no way to
4 sports
determine.
have ever vacated a title before.
Right.
Well,
And nobody's going to about to start.
you also can't actually prove that had they been playing fair, the outcome would have been different anyway.
Yeah.
We can't
It's
actually prove that,
it's a lot of what ifs. So they can't take it away and then give it to another. That's just not going to happen.
No.
But I'll say this as an A's fan who for 2 straight years came in second place in the division, even though they won 97 games, I definitely feel cheated
Oh yeah.
because
Absolutely.
had they been playing fair, who knows? Maybe the A's with
Who
their 97
know-
wins
yeah,
come
who
in
knows
first
what the-
place.
yeah,
and
who
don't
knows
have to
what-
play in the wild card.
Who knows what
so.
the outcome would have been had they not been doing that?
Yeah.
But I do think that it should be taking a step further, and those that have been fired and suspended need to be banned. I think they need to be banned.
I'm even more hardcore. I say ban all the players that were involved.
You know what? I'm not opposed because
set a hard
Good
example.
luck with that.
oh, I know it's not going to happen. But the fact is,
You know how many teams were involved?
is that
Yeah, this is going to uncover more than
Yeah.
like
This
this
is-
is the
this
tip of
is-
the iceberg.
oh yeah, I think
This is at least 6 or 7 teams.
yeah.
At
But-
least, bare minimum.
Oh yeah,
But, I mean-
there's a lot of people, a lot of teams and employees and players right now that are in
Oh, yeah.
panic mode.
Yeah, but I mean, call me a romantic. I mean,
I'm never
but-
going to call
but
you that.
it really bothers me that anyone cheats at all. Right? Like I'm a very firm believer in the integrity of the sport, even though
Right.
it clearly doesn't really exist anymore. But that's what I'm saying. Call me a romantic, but I I want the fantasy of it being fair. I want that to be true.
Right. And the thing for me when I was talking about, when I'm saying that I think they should be banned, the people that have already, they've said you're responsible, so you're getting suspended and you're now fired. Pete Rose was banned from baseball for gambling.
Yeah.
And
that's a very controversial topic.
It is.
Yeah, he should still be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree. But
the fact that he got banned is two different things with all for the career numbers and all that thing because it's voted on by writers.
Right. But I think is that with the banning of a player from a sport, they just become to everybody involved in that sport, whether it's sports writers, beat writers, whatever, they become basically hands off. Persona non grata, which is unfortunate. Yeah. And that's what happened with Pete Rose with this. And again,
they're still putting up a good fight with the steroids era right now.
Yeah.
But we're going to this next class will be, I think, one of the tipping points.
Yeah, I think so. But that's why I think, these guys, they cheated. Mm-hmm. They cheated. It was proven that they cheated by MLB.
Yeah.
And I think that's what deserves somebody being banned from the sport for doing that.
Yeah, and
so did the steroids people.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, and
nobody got banned from that though.
Oh, and that's the thing, because I'm very anti-steroids, but there are a lot of people out there that really don't think that it's cheating. Like I have had a lot of conversations with people over the years that just think that. I highly disagree with them. But there is a lot of people out there that feel steroids is okay. The current scandal with the Astros, though, there is no defending that. There is no stance where it's like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, and so now we look at
Boston.
Boston.
In the grand scheme of things, it isn't.
Yeah. So now we look at.
I don't see how it's not.
Well, there's a whole lot of other things that could be going on in the game that are worse than just banging on a garbage can.
It's still a very egregious form of cheating. And
right. The way
bad.
the technology was used, yes, but they've been doing it since the 1800s.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is that's like when my wife was asking me about it, because I was watching one of the reports on ESPN when the suspensions came down, and I said it's one thing to be on the field and to have studied your opponent to know, like, okay, this is what's coming. I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it coming.
And be at second base trying to help your
exactly.
It's
one thing for that. Yeah. That's just a given. You're looking for the weakness in your opponent. That's just what you do in any sport. But like you said, it's the fact that they set up technology specifically to do this.
Yeah. There's a reason why pitchers and catchers cover their faces.
Right. Yeah.
Is because Will Clark could read lips.
Yeah, and there's a reason that NFL coaches put their plays over their mouth.
Yeah.
Because of a team from New England that like to record from the other side of the field.
It's not just a like. I'd say it's a full on hobby for Bill Belichick. It's a great passion of his.
So anyways,
because they did it again,
and they wiped their hands of it though, real quick.
Oh yeah. So now you get to Boston with the Red Sox.
The year before.
And it was the Apple Watch. It was the Apple Watches, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I forget which one was the Yankees, which one's the Red Sox, but it was one team got busted first, and then the other team got busted, the year later, and then now it's the Astros getting busted.
Well, see, and the thing is, and I know that some people said, okay, well, why is it much harsher for the Astros? And I think the thing is that
they don't kick up as much money in Major League Baseball as the Red Sox.
Well, not only that, but also the new commissioner when he came in,
most recent,
and saw this, and these punished, it was found out. There was still a gray line, as far as what they could do, and so that's when he just basically said, okay, that's it, no more. You cannot use technology for this. And then the Astros continued to do it. That's why.
Yeah.
And they've already gotten tagged once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got tagged with the whole draft internet, the email thing with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
The guy worked for the Cardinals and got their whole draft thing through email system, and they hacked it over at Houston.
Yeah.
And got slapped on the wrist for that.
Yeah, no, and I get it. The cheating, it's there, and it's not just these teams. It's probably damn near everyone.
Right.
But I mean, I know it's a pipe dream, but I really, really want something to happen to kind of change the whole culture of not just baseball but sports in general. I mean, because the cheating persists at all levels of major sports.
It does.
We could talk about the whole Lance Armstrong thing all the live long day, but imagine a world where it was all fair and clean and not controversial, right?
But, yeah, but I think that it's not just that they were caught. It's the fact that when they were specifically told, everybody was specifically told, do not ever do this again, they doubled down.
Yeah.
We're like, sure.
And won a World Series in the process.
Yeah, which was basically like the Lance Armstrong thing.
Yeah.
You're getting caught, and you're doubling down on it. So. Yeah.
But,
sports.
But yeah, it definitely sucks.
Go sports.
Yay.
But that's why I like movies. You can't really cheat at a movie.
Well,
not really. I mean, what you're seeing on
You
screen
could cheat
is,
the audience
yeah,
out of
exactly
their money.
right.
you could, but I meant like there's nothing in film that's like, oh hey, like there was I guess there can be various behind the scenes scandals and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're watching a movie though, like there's no real lies there. It is exactly what it is.
It's all a lie.
Well, technically yes, but you know what I mean. Like it's all there as it is.
That's
right?
what we do in Hollywood.
Like-
we are professional
Like
liars.
you're not gonna find out like years
Us
later
in
that,
Washington.
that it wasn't really a movie, right?
You could be cheated if you made the movie Cats. And actually went and saw it.
No, I imagine someone who's a fan of Cats feels the same way that baseball fans of the 29 other teams felt when all this came out.
Well, what's even funnier about Cats, too, when we're talking about the Oscars, is that the week after, that Universal immediately pulled it from their for your consideration page.
It's a good idea.
You mean they actually thought at first it was gonna?
Oh yeah, especially for visual effects and for and for song.
Wow!
Because Taylor Swift wrote a song for it, so they were all in on that.
T-Swizzle.
Oh man, someone's got to get fired for all of that. Like that's.
Yeah, that's not how it works in Hollywood.
I know, but they should, because in the rest of the rest of the world, you do a bad job, you're probably gonna get fired.
So
you do something that loses a bunch of money, you're probably gonna get fired.
But anyways,
Well, Universal and Warner Brothers are going into business together for Blu-ray sales and DVD sales.
are they?
Yeah, they just Variety just came out. They're gonna starting next year. They're gonna combine their distribution for all their 4K Blu-ray,
Oh, nice.
DVD launches,
I like it.
and then they split up the overseas stuff.
Well, they're right across the street from each other, so.
Yeah.
Our
Literally.
younger listeners are probably going, these guys still buy Blu-rays?
Yes.
I get that. I get those looks a lot.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I still buy Blu-rays.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want the physical.
Yes.
Every now and then, if it's nothing, that I need a physical copy of, it's like if I see it on sale for like $5 or something, or $2 on
So actually,
iTunes, I'll get it, the digital copy to have. But if it's something I really want, I want the physical copy of it.
so with all the Star Wars stuff coming out recently,
I've heard of it.
decided I wanted to go back and reread Dark
You
Empire.
keep talking about the Star Wars.
What is
this?
Is this
Was
like
it-
Space Force?
It is actually, yes, with their nifty camouflage uniforms for space. Because all the trees in space. But I want to go back and reread Dark
The
Empire.
moon of Endor
right?
had lots of trees. Just ask those biker scouts.
Yeah.
Who were not camouflaged in any way, shape, or form for Endor. They literally were bright white armor and stuck out like sore thumb. Anyway, that's not the point. I want to go back and reread Dark Empire. Right?
Oh, okay.
I have the trilogy in hardcover,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to go digging through all my stuff because I have a lot of stuff,
Right.
and it would take me a long time to do it. It's on Amazon, like the digital copy of it. It's on Amazon for like $15, and I'm like, do I want to spend $15 on something I already have?
Yes.
Maybe, maybe. Just,
How much comes with this?
$15 for in exchange for not having to go dig through all my collection to find one specific book. I'm really considering it. Like I'm leaning more towards yes than I am no. But no, actually, when first thing I thought when we saw Rise of Skywalker was like, well, now I want to go back and reread Dark Empire because of all the Palpatine stuff, right? And because I haven't read it in years, but I've read some other of the expanded universe stuff. Like, it really made me go back and reread some of the stuff that I didn't really like before, but maybe I'll feel differently about it now.
Right.
I don't.
Well, speaking of Star Wars,
yes.
So this week, allegedly, the original screenplay that Trevorrow wrote. Yeah, no, I wasn't going to talk about that. But that's stupid. That's
yeah.
No, I'm talking about the allegedly
the
the original screenplay.
Yeah, so I listened to that guy's podcast, and the one he was describing, which I'd never heard of this guy before, but apparently he actually is a filmmaker. He made like one movie, and he claims he was like a script reader for many years in Hollywood.
Oh,
but yeah, he actually was detailing what he claimed was the first draft of Colin Trevorrow's script, and then the next day, Making Star Wars came out with a description of a script they're claiming was his final draft before leaving the project, and it's a lot of differences. The guy that was the first did this, because I don't really know who he is, never heard of him before, but the guys that making, like Jason Ward at Making Star Wars, his information is highly like on point. Like his stuff is correct way more often than it's wrong. I'd say like a good 70%. So I'd be more inclined to believe him than anyone else, but I legitimately thought the whole thing was fake at first because of the name Duel of the Fates.
Right.
I thought, well, that sounds like something that like a fan-made thing would do, because when we think of Star Wars and Duel of the Fates, we think of that score from the end of Phantom Menace, right? So I thought it was odd that Lucasfilm would choose that as the title of their film, but then you had people from Collider, people from I forget a couple of like legitimate websites that were like, no, our sources say this is all real. So
would I lie to you?
I mean, like it seems more
Depends,
often
where does he
than
work?
not. Well, especially because like a few weeks ago there was someone out there claiming, "Oh, I've read Colin Trevorrow's script and this is what was in it." He actually came on Twitter and said, "No, none of that's true," and he hasn't denied this yet.
Right.
So I'm more inclined to believe it than I am to not. It was interesting. If it's true, I don't think it would have been better than what we ended up getting.
I haven't listened to it. I tried and I couldn't get past a minute. I was like, okay.
Well, he talks about something else for the first 25 minutes of this 2-hour thing. I listened to the whole thing.
I was like, no, I can't. I can't do this, buddy.
The first half of it sounded interesting. The second half, disappointing.
Yeah. So I just read the highlights.
Yeah.
On every other website that it was out there, and it sounded interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think that if it was titled Duel of the Fates, it probably was a work in progress. Title.
Yeah. All the stuff with like the Kylo Ren going to train with that Lovecraftian creature that taught Palpatine, which is kind of weird because Darth Plagueis is supposed to be his master, not this new creature. But then again, Obi-Wan tells Luke, you need to go to the Dagobah system to learn from Yoda, the master who instructed me. And we found out that, no, Qui-Gon instructed Obi-Wan. So who knows with Star Wars anymore, right? But that all sounded pretty cool.
You don't know me?
Well, also, too, if you think about it, it's possible still that Palpatine could have been trained by this if he went to this after he killed Plagueis.
Yeah, that's totally true, too. And I liked all the stuff with, like, Luke haunting Kylo. I thought that was great. But in this script, whether it's true or not, they try to redeem Kylo, and he refuses.
Right.
And he dies the villain. I don't like that nearly as much as, Ben Solo redeeming himself. We've talked about it before. We're not really that crazy about the character of Rose, and in this script, she was like a main character, like featured heavily.
Well, for me too, it's not that I'm not crazy about her character. I'm not crazy about what they've done with her character. Her character, like I said, in Last Jedi, was shoehorned into the story for a storyline that wasn't necessary at all.
Yeah.
And that character could have fit. They could have fit in somewhere else, and they could have created another C story for the two of them that just wasn't a red herring.
But also, it's a character who, at the end, sacrifices the lives of everyone else to save the man that she loves.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that's just awful, right? That's just terrible. But stealing an Imperial Star Destroyer, like a fully stocked, all the Tie Fighters there, like, Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been pretty sweet.
And yeah, so I definitely like the first half of the story.
But I
than
think
the second
a
half.
part of me was also, when I read that, I was like, oh, okay, so we could have had another space heist that probably wasn't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So ultimately, I'm glad that we got, compared to what we could have had, I definitely like what we got more. And I mean, of the three of us, I was the one who liked it the least out of the three of us.
Right.
I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as you guys did.
Right.
I'm definitely happy with that we got the film that we got compared to what we could have had, because I don't think that would have really been a good movie. But
You're not a good movie.
But remember though, when the movie was over, I was telling you guys I kind of bummed out that we're not going to find out what the movie was originally going to be.
Yeah.
And so now we actually might. So maybe
So
if this is true,
Right.
You ready
So,
for a JJ cut?
Yes, I do want the JJ cut, especially now.
3.5 hours of JJ?
Release the JJ cut.
Well, especially now, I brought up earlier. Well, I don't remember if we were recording when I brought this up earlier, but the Art of Rise of Skywalker came out in Korea, and so we've got all these pictures of concept stuff and stuff that was confirming some other reports that this is what the scene originally was, and they changed it, blah blah blah. And I now definitely 100% want a JJ cut of this film.
It's so funny too, because it's very obvious when you look at the images that came out that it's like, oh, okay, this is from the the Art of book, that's coming out. But people are going crazy, this stuff wasn't supposed to get out. It's been leaked. And it's like, no, somebody took pictures of an early copy.
Yeah. And this isn't even the first time. There's an English language one where there's screenshots of it. They've been floating around since before the movie came out. Actually.
So I just find people stupid.
But apparently, so in the beginning, when we see Kylo Ren, he's killing people. He's trying to find the Sith Wayfinder. Apparently, and I'd heard this before, but this kind of confirms it. That was originally Mustafar.
Right.
And he goes and talks. And I remember earlier in the year, the spoilers that I had read earlier in the year, it turned out a lot of them were true. This Oracle creature that kind of looks like the snake creature from the beginning of Solo, but it's more spider-like, like spider limbs and everything. And allegedly, it was going to be an animatronic. Allegedly, but he talks. He's looking for
Nick because he hates spiders.
But he's looking for this character they called the Oracle because he's trying to find information on how to find what we now know as Exegol. And
the Oracle make him a cookie, and then
I kind of want to
tell him that.
Maybe not from that creature, but
I'm thinking the Matrix. Sorry.
But that Oracle. Oops.
Hate you.
But. And then from there, he goes and explores Vader's castle on Mustafar. So think about that. We could have gotten a scene where Kylo Ren is walking through Vader's
into his castle and finds the Property Brothers. They want him to redo it and flip it.
Flip this house.
Flip his castle.
But I thought that would have been cool. There's an interesting image though that I saw earlier today from that book. And I don't know the context of it at all because it's not anything not a previous leak I had read before, anything like that. But it's a concept painting of Rey.
You're still thinking about it, aren't you?
We're gonna love it or we're gonna list it.
Move that destroyer.
But Rey is reaching out to Kylo Ren, and behind her is the Force ghost of Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah,
with the lightsaber ignited, and without any context, I don't know what that was supposed to be. But it's an interesting idea.
Well, one of the beats that I had read was that during their confrontation, that's when the ghosts of Obi-Wan, Luke, Yoda, and Anakin were supposed to show up to help Rey.
Which also I thought would have been way cooler.
It would have been.
Yeah.
I just want somebody in the background just waving their hand going, "Hi, guys."
Some Jedi we never saw before making their first appearance. Just oh, hey, I just wanted to join the party.
See what's
you guys
going
look
on.
like you were having fun.
A little kid goes up to Anakin, kicks him. That was me. Kick.
That's for Order 66. But yeah, no, it's I'm probably gonna buy that book when it finally comes out here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm told March is sometime in March is when it's expected to be.
Sounds about right.
Sure.
And then they're already taking pre-orders for the Blu-ray for the movie.
Yeah.
I'm really still contemplating the big saga set that Best Buy is going to be selling.
Oh, see, I can't do that.
I
cannot spend money on the special editions. or the prequels. I can't do it.
I got it.
I cannot do it.
Got it.
I don't even own The Last Jedi.
I gotta have it.
But I'll buy Rise of Skywalker. I've got both versions of Force Awakens because remember they put it out, and then like a few months later they came out with the 3D version that was like the same thing but with more special features.
I bought Jedi because I have to have the complete set.
Yeah,
I do not.
gotta have it. Gotta have them all.
I have the ones that matter to me. I bought Solo. Like day it came out, I bought Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that in a while. I need to go back and watch it. Again.
I watched
really
it,
like it.
When it was still on Netflix. I watched it.
Have you watch the special features?
Not yet.
Oh, you've got to watch. There's a roundtable discussion with Ron Howard and all the actors. It's really, really good.
Ron Howard, the man who potentially saved the movie.
Yeah.
Because
not potentially, the man who did.
Well, I just mean that like we don't really know what the movie could have been like.
Right.
We just know that Lucasfilm wasn't happy with it. But
I think for what I think we said this on the show before when it came out. But for the movie that we got, the fact that he came in, and how long did they go on hiatus? Was it 2 or 3 months?
I'm not sure, but he literally came in towards the end of the initial production and
reshot
most of the movie.
You know, and to do that on that time frame, you know, a director of his stature, I was really impressed with what he delivered.
I mean, I defend that movie all the time, right? Because I find that like there's a lot of people out there that still haven't seen it, but since it didn't do well in the box office, they heard it was bad. And so I'm constantly I love that movie. And
well, these are the same people that say that, you know, Rise of Skywalker, you know, is a failure and it just crossed $1 billion.
I literally saw an article that said it's the first $1 billion failure.
You're kidding me.
Which is anyone who knows how numbers work. There is no scenario in which $1 billion of anything is a failure.
Yeah,
right?
and unless it's
like $1 billion deaths.
Unless you spent $20 billion to make it and you only made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Then there's a problem.
Unless
But
it's Waterworld.
the media is always
Actually,
driven
I kind of
by
like Waterworld.
the media is always driven by narratives, right? So I don't remember which website published this, but their narrative was we want to get the people who didn't like the movie,
right?
So we're going to write this article with this headline.
Click your sister company, wrote the other one.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. They're all lies, Nick.
Of course,
all lies.
But no, how do you make $1 billion and the movie's a failure? Now, like Solo, only pulling in just sub 400 million.
Mm-hmm.
I could see how that could be considered a failure. I mean, I don't think they lost money on it, but
it wasn't the massive hit that they expected it to be.
Yeah,
that you expect a Star Wars movie to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only one that was not a financial success, like quite literally. I wouldn't go as far as say it was financially like a failure because they didn't lose money.
Right.
Like there are movies out there who actually lose money. They don't pull in their initial investment back. That's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wouldn't be upset to see another one.
I want to see another one. And those who have listened to us for a long time, I was very critical. Like, who wanted to see a young Han Solo movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't, and the box office shows that a lot of people didn't. But once I saw it, I fell in love with it immediately. That's like one of my favorite Star Wars movies. That always kills me. All the people that were like, I didn't watch it because I'm too much of a Star Wars fan. And
well, then you're not.
That's the only reason I even went to go watch it was because I'm a Star Wars fan, and I was very pleasantly surprised.
Well, speaking of Star Wars fans,
yes.
So finally here on the West Coast, Rise of the Resistance opened at Disneyland. Finally, so both are open now, and I was telling Nick earlier. So when it opened, the park opened at 1, and the only way to get on it is with their boarding pass method. And you have to go on the app, or they actually have kiosks at Disneyland as well that you can go to get one as well, a boarding pass. All boarding passes today, which is just day 2 of it being open, were gone. Park opened at 8. They were all gone by 8:01.
So Star Wars fatigue, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Although I've always questioned the reports.
Here.
No, they're all there.
All those crowds are gonna be here.
No, I've been questioning all the reports about how Galaxy's Edge isn't doing well and whatnot, because I know a couple people that go regularly, and every time they go, they tell me it's packed.
Yeah, it's just again, just people looking for, like you said, they're looking for a narrative, and the narrative is, Disney sucks. They shouldn't have bought Star Wars. They're ruining everything. Look what they did.
Yeah.
And that's just.
Negativity is in right now, and I understand the irony of me saying that.
Four out of 5 movies that have come at what 800 million at least.
You're right.
Because what was Rogue One? Did they break $1 billion?
I don't think it broke $1 billion.
But it made up.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
So four out of the 5,
and
800 plus.
Rogue One is the only one of the Disney Star Wars movies that everyone seems to agree on.
Yeah,
no one
That's
hates
true.
Rogue One.
That's
right?
true.
And who would have thought anybody's gonna love a movie about them finding the plans to the Death Star?
Yeah. God, I love that movie.
Yeah, I was excited. The first when I first heard when they first announced it, D23, and said it was
showed
going to
that
be
piece of beautiful concept art. I was just like, yes, take my money now.
Yeah. So it's Star Wars Call of Duty.
Yeah,
is what it was.
Yeah,
and then now
I loved it.
The most recent rumors as far as the future of the franchise go.
Rogue 2.
Was
that?
Rumor has it.
No, but the current rumors are
Rogue 77.
The
Star Wars on the Sunset
Rogue
Strip.
1A.
Wait, say that again.
Rogue 1A.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
director's cut of Rogue One. No, the current rumors are, and I mean we should be finding out soon because they said January was going to be when they announced the next movie, and January is also supposed to be.
Hey, it's January.
Well, it is, yeah.
Yeah,
but not a specific date. But they just said January. We're also supposed to get an announcement on what Project Luminous actually is.
Oh yeah.
And the
yeah.
current rumors are that the next movie will be part of Project Luminous, which in a way that does make sense. They're going for books, comic books, video games, kind of like Shadows of the Empire back in the 90s. But the interesting thing about the rumors is that allegedly this new movie and Project Luminous in general will take place in this era they're calling the High Republic era.
Right.
Which is not a commonly used phrase with Star Wars. I don't think I'd ever heard that term High Republic era before. But the week after those rumors came out, Kylo Ren.
That's when the Republic legalized weed.
But only on Coruscant. The other planets have.
Have you ever smoked pot?
That's what the whole fight is for that one. Is they're just trying to legalize weed across the galaxy. It's the High Republic.
But a week after the rumors came out, Kylo Ren issue 2, Laura Santeca talks about the High Republic era. And Charles Soule, who's the writer of the Kylo Ren miniseries, is one of the writers on Project Luminous. So as far as rumors go, at the moment, it fits. But we'll find out soon enough. But the High Republic era is supposed to take place 400 years, I think, before the Battle of... I mean, just 400 years before these movies. I don't think it really matters if it's specific before Battle of Yavin or, whatever. But 400 years in the past about the... I think it did say the unknown territories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rumors. And it should feature a younger Yoda. Well, I'd say a middle-aged Yoda.
You don't know me? You don't know me?
Yeah.
It'll be 100.
But, I mean, I've been wanting a Knights of the Old Republic movie for a long time. I'll settle for this. It sounds awesome,
Samesies.
Yeah. So here's hoping those rumors are true.
Hooray.
And if not, here's hoping to something better. But definitely not something worse, because that would suck.
Yeah. But for those that are planning on going to Galaxy's Edge, specifically to go on Rise of the Resistance, you do not have to be there early before. People are still lining up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't have to line up that early. Yeah, get there at least like an hour before the park officially opens. So right now it opens at 8. If you're there by 7, and when I say there, I mean you've parked your car and you're getting ready to enter. They're opening the gates early to let people in the park, because in order to have a boarding pass, your ticket has to be scanned into the park. So you walk in, scan, and then as long as you're in there at 8 and your ticket's scanned in, you can then open up the Disneyland app and join your boarding party at that point. But I just don't get people just looking at this. People are still lining up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, you don't be stupid.
I think some people like doing that, though. I think they like telling that story that I got there at 4 o'clock in the morning and I waited. Not like my Rocket Rods story where I waited 4 hours and I highly regretted it.
Right.
But I think other people just really dig telling other people, hey, I did this. Like we talked about last time. I'm a bigger fan than you are because I did blah, 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 blah. It's like bragging rights almost for some of these people.
Yeah. So what you have to do, so if you're going, make sure you have your ticket. And you can already put it in the Disney. There's 2 different apps. There's one that's called My Disney Experience. That's for Walt Disney World. And then there's a Disneyland app. And then there's an option in there to link your tickets. So if you have your physical ticket, or even if you bought an e-ticket, you can use the barcode number on there. Or if you have an annual pass, you can link it there as well. So your ticket should already be in your app. And if you haven't done it, once you get in the park, you should put it in. And you can actually put multiple. So if you're with a group of friends, each of you can scan, like have each other's tickets, like, you know, as a group on everybody's individual apps. So then everybody can try. And as soon as it hits 8 o'clock, you open up the app, and it'll give you the option to join your boarding party. And then you just tap on it and see what's available and try to get in. But you have to be in the park, because there are some idiots that decided, oh, well, I'll go to DCA, to California Adventure, where there isn't a crowd, and I'll do it from there. It's like, all right, go ahead. You're not going to get in.
Good luck with that.
Have fun with that, dummy.
You do realize they use separate scanners.
Yeah. It knows where you are, stupid.
Well, it is. It's a different park, right? Technically?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
yeah.
is.
I just found that out recently.
What?
I know very little about Disneyland. I haven't been in 21 years.
I'm going to have that little Force ghost kid come and kick you.
Basically, the last time I was there was a baby that was probably there that can legally drink now. That's how long it's been.
So when it was a parking lot.
Well, they were still building California Adventure last time I was there. So I know almost nothing about it.
Oh, wow.
But you know what they did add to Galaxy's Edge? And this was added the week the movie came out? Ben Solo's lightsaber.
Yes.
And I love the way that looks. I think it's a gorgeous looking lightsaber. I want to buy one.
Nerd.
Now, we don't have in any way, shape, or form yet Rey's lightsaber for commercial use. And I think that's a shame, because that's a gorgeous looking lightsaber.
I'm sure we'll be seeing it soon.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That and Leia's we'll be seeing soon.
Which is also another very nice looking saber. A while ago, I sent you guys that video of when she ignites her saber.
Yes.
It flashes blue and then green before it goes yellow. Did you guys watch it?
Yes, we talked about it in the last episode.
We did?
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I've been showing a lot of people that here. Even on the TV here, in big, everything, it's really hard to spot. You have to look, keep looking, because it's very quick. Did I tell you guys my theory, though, about that? Why?
Probably.
Okay, never mind then. It's not a good theory. It's a very thin theory. I was kind of fishing, but I didn't have a better explanation. Because there is no explanation for it. They don't explain it at all.
That's all right.
I think you've imagined it all.
How do we know I'm not imagining this right now?
That's true.
I know what I wasn't imagining this week.
What's that?
Eminem dropped a new album.
And it's really good.
Yeah, so that came out of nowhere. That was at like 11:30 on Thursday.
Yeah.
I think is when it suddenly was just there. And then the next morning he dropped a new video.
Yeah. And I found out in the most random fashion. I just happened to be scrolling through Twitter, and Devin Sawa just tweeted out, Eminem just dropped a surprise album. I'll see you guys later. And I didn't know if it was a joke or not. And then when you started telling us, I was like, oh,
yeah.
Well, let me listen to this.
It's good.
It is really good.
It sounds like old Eminem.
I'll take your word for it.
And at the same time, it also sounds, because there's that one song where he's rapping so fast, I'm like, this has to be sped up. There's no way this is natural. But I'll believe it is, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised if, since he dropped this, that when the next half of the season of SNL starts, that he'll be a musical guest.
Yeah.
And then we'll see.
Yeah. But I was surprised to see that Juice WRLD was on there. R.I.P. Juice WRLD. He just recently passed. I saw Royce the 5'9" was on there, and I was like, I thought they were, I don't want to use the word broken up, but I thought they were on the outs, because I had heard that.
Nick, right?
Sure.
Well, no, so you guys seen 8 Mile?
Yes.
Nope.
I forget the name of the actor, but he played the.
You haven't seen 8 Mile?
Nope.
The friend of his that sleeps with his
I
girlfriend.
refuse to watch Eminem like I refuse to watch
Eminem.
Vin Diesel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But when,
there's only one white rapper to me, and that's Vanilla Ice. All others should not exist. I want to hear some white guy talking about Detroit.
I really like Mac Miller. Macklemore's pretty good.
Macklemore,
Kid Rock sucks, but that's a whole other thing. But no, in 8 Mile, the guy that sleeps with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I heard that was based on Royce the 5'9". And Royce the 5'9" had slept with Kim.
Maybe they came
back. And so
back.
I heard that they were, but you know how rumors go. I heard a lot of rumors about things in high school that turned out not to be
I
true.
was going to ask you, how do rumors go?
Rumor has it.
But no, I thought it was a great album. I'm at a point in my life where I'm looking back and realizing, oh man, I'm kind of old, because I bought the Slim Shady LP when I was a freshman in high school in 1998. That was 22 years ago.
Yeah.
And then here I am now, all these years later, still getting excited about the new Eminem album. Like, I'm old, man. I'm getting old.
I love M&Ms.
I like those too.
I like peanut butter. I like
Peanut butter is my favorite.
I like almond.
I love the pretzel M&Ms.
I like the original.
I don't like plain M&Ms.
Why not?
It's just plain. There's not really much to it.
I even like the mint ones they have at during the Christmas holiday.
I've tried.
I have
ones.
never seen those, actually.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Crunch were interesting.
Crunch, yeah, that was.
I tried really hard to find during Christmas time just the green and red M&Ms, like how it used to be.
Right.
The closest I found were the green, red, and white, and it's not the same.
No, the red. They do red and green.
I couldn't find them anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Usually
after
Target
Christmas,
has them.
I found some.
You
After
sure you're
Christmas,
not colorblind?
Yes.
Because that's the only way the peanut butter one comes in Christmas.
I'm just saying I couldn't find any. So after Christmas,
Well, you
I
need to go
actually saw
Target.
them at a bunch of places.
Okay.
When I
Target.
wasn't looking for them anymore, they're there.
Well, we'll get them.
Story of my life.
Get them, buddy.
But they're not going to, I don't know if they're going to still be good next year. I don't know.
They're M&M's.
Yeah.
They have a hard candy shell.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's enough chemicals in those things to be just fine.
But see, with chocolate candy, sometimes they don't go bad, but they get kind of chalky, and it's just not the same.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
Eat them fast enough, you'll never know.
Yeah, it's true.
No, but
yeah, no, I'm digging the album.
it's fantastic. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but
I was
Were you
bumping
digging
it
it
on the way
and
here.
digging it and digging it well?
it's doing it. But yes,
I know that.
LL Cool J, I love that song.
I know.
LL Cool J. He looks the exact same now as he did when that first Eminem album dropped. I can tell you that.
That's true.
Actually, he looks the same now as when Mama Said Knock You Out came out.
Yeah.
That man does not age at all.
Well, he did get a little ripped.
Well,
a little
more muscular,
yeah.
but I mean, other than that, dude, he's in his 50s and he still looks like he's in his 20s or 30s.
Looks the same as when he was in Toys.
He was in Toys?
Yeah.
I barely. You're talking about Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, yeah.
I barely remember that movie.
Yeah. Played an Army Commando.
I saw it once when I
Jesus.
was 8 years
Yeah,
old.
it's been a long time since I've seen that.
And then the Richard Pryor movie was The Toy.
The
right?
Toy.
The Toy.
The
Oh,
Toy,
yeah.
okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Haven't seen that.
And
since
then you
I was a
watch it,
little
and
kid,
then
too.
I remember loving it as a kid, and then rewatching it a few years ago and going, "Oh,
Yeah.
Not what you remembered it being,
I
right?
didn't really
I didn't
understand this
grasp
as a
that.
kid,
I
and
didn't
oh
grasp
my
that
goodness, this is a very racist movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am ashamed.
I had to watch last night a part of
Wonder Wheel.
New York Minute. You guys ever seen New York Minute?
I was thinking the Wonder Wheel.
Say
You
that
guys
again?
ever seen New York Minute?
No.
With Olsen twins?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't ever watch it. I had to watch some of it last night. It's awful. But
You
Andy
didn't have
Richter,
to do anything.
Yeah.
Andy Richter
You're a
is
man.
speaking in a fake Asian accent throughout the movie.
Oh.
And I remember thinking, how did this not, cause any controversy? That's pretty racist. It's very racist.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
when
like
would
the
it come
entire-
out?
I don't know.
That would have been like
10 years ago? I don't know.
Yeah, they were still dropping the F word
Yeah.
for the homosexual community.
I saw the
I was-
wheels in your head
I
turning.
was like, how am I going to put this?
I know what yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's other than the racism, it is just an awful, abysmal movie. It's a good thing the Olsen twins don't make movies anymore because they're all like that.
Yeah, they're not very good.
Yeah.
at all.
They don't need to.
Yeah, they don't.
They're
They really
Double
don't.
trouble, trouble.
Those girls are close to billionaires, if not billionaires.
Yeah. They look down upon us all.
I mean,
One's
the fact,
married to
the
some 50-year-old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they basically, when, Fuller House, they were all excited to have jobs again, and they were like, nah, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
They practically begged them, apparently even in the show,
Yeah.
begged them to, be on it.
Well, they actually kind of make fun of them in the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But one of the actors on their claims that they reached out to Elizabeth Olsen, who actually is acting, and allegedly she was interested but couldn't figure out how to work it into her schedule. I have no idea if that's true or not.
Even Netflix won't write a check that big.
Yeah.
I think they're in the process of buying Netflix. How rich they are.
Wouldn't be surprised. I wish I was rich. And even like the bare minimum of rich.
I want the world. I want the whole world.
Because I don't even have $500 to my name right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
It keeps dropping. The amount keeps dropping.
Seriously.
You realize it? Oh, my.
What's happened?
Sorry. You heard of a savings account? We need to start working on that.
Yeah. Expenses get in the way, though.
Oh, you go.
Bills and
Yeah.
so forth. And food. I need food.
Didn't he just talk about buying a digital comic because he doesn't want to go looking for the physical comic?
Yeah.
What, like $15 is not going to make or break me.
Apparently it will.
Yeah. We know health insurance was an issue for a little bit.
But it's not an issue now.
Yeah.
I can get that
Although it
digital
will
comic.
be the next time I have to go to the doctor. Because my plan is not a good plan. It's an affordable plan. It's just not a good plan.
But really, are any of your plans good plans?
No, they are
Besides health.
What is health, really?
Oh, God,
Health
here we
is
go.
relative,
Dear
Jesse.
Lord.
Oh, my. Not again.
No,
It's relative.
seems like it's a signal for us to get out of here.
Do we have any more topics?
Make like a tree and get
Oh,
down.
I don't know. What else happened this week?
I don't know. We pretty much talked about everything I've discussed.
Well, I mean, I think we covered the big news of the week.
Yes.
Oscars, cheaters,
And we still found a way to work in Star Wars.
of course.
We
Oh, my.
always do. We always do.
Oh.
We need to do a Star Trek
And
episode and figure out a way how to turn it into Star Wars. just to piss off the Trekkies. Because it would. They're very sensitive people. They are.
Yeah, it's
I was
true.
raised by some.
It's true. They are.
I'm half Trekkie.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that silence.
On that bombshell.
Right.
That's our cue.
Make like a tree
I
and get
think
the hell out of here.
Nick needs an outro cue song. Once
Start playing the music they play at the Academy Awards.
once he brings that topic up.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Now, which version of the song? Young
Frankenstein. There's
Frankenstein
only
or
one
Taco?
Yeah, Frankenstein.
There's
Okay.
only one that matters.
Oh, no,
to
Taco
this
would be
group.
more his line. I would
Are you
think.
familiar with that?
No.
Oh,
Taco, the one-hit wonder in the 80s
Okay,
that put it
okay.
on the Ritz.
I'm gonna have to pull it because that was
Yeah.
where my exposure as a kid first
Yeah.
came to that song because I hadn't watched Young Frankenstein.
Oh,
yet.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
wow.
do know what you're talking
My
about.
first was Young Frankenstein.
Okay.
and
Yeah, I
then
hadn't
Taco.
watched Young Frankenstein yet.
I know what you're talking about because they played it in some movie I've watched more
If
than
you're
once.
blue and you don't
But
know
I didn't
where
know
to
that it
go
was
to,
by a guy
why
named
don't you
Taco.
go
Well, it's
where
not by
fashion
him.
sits?
Well, he did a cover of it. Yeah.
Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah, I know
Dressed
of
up
it.
like $1 million trooper.
What?
Trying not to look like Gary.
Yes. Okay. So next week, One Hit Wonders. We'll have
Not
some
that
fun.
one though, because we already talked about it.
No, we'll
Bring
play
it up?
some of it because
Okay.
some of our audience may not be familiar with it,
And so that just so we're aware and sure, we're not gonna
we're not
we're
going
not
to
gonna be
decade.
we're not gonna
be
keep it to a decade
No.
specific. Thank
No,
you.
we're just sticking to. This was their one hit, and so
Okay.
for us, we'll pull up their music videos so we can watch them and the audience can listen to them,
Okay.
especially if they're spectacular. And this will obviously be one that will never be approved by YouTube. So if anybody listens to our podcast on YouTube, please go somewhere else
Because
because we're gonna get flagged hardcore for it.
I'm determined now to find the most obscure one-hit wonder I can possibly
Go for it.
find. It is
Go
gonna
for.
be
I've
my
gone.
project for this
I've
week.
gone down the rabbit hole of like old music that I like and one hit wonders. Like, oh yeah. So
This is gonna be fun.
yeah. Okay, so I would say one hit wonders and maybe also obscure, especially obscure.
I'm
ones.
going for obscure. Yeah.
Because I've got a few in my head that you might know,
Maybe.
but he might not.
I've got one that you might know, but he definitely won't know.
And I've got some that I don't even know that maybe you guys know.
I look forward to learning. about new one-hit wonders that I never knew before.
All right. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go. We'll go research.
All right, guys.
That'll be a fun episode. All right. So don't forget to follow us across social medias at Oh My Geek Podcast. Subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that is Podbean, Stitcher, Google, or Apple Podcast. And I think that's it for this week. So on behalf of the Oh My Geek Podcast, thank you, Current Comics, for letting us record in the middle of your store and watching He-Man.
And if you ever want to feel like you're part of the team, the group, the podcast, come on by and we can have real life conversations here in the shop, as lots of people are wont to do. That's my plug for the week.
Again, we need that outro music for him.
Okay.
You know, I'm actually going to just get a sound effect of just like tires skidding, screeching, every time he brings a conversation to a halt.
The crash into a wall.
Here we were exiting the show.
Yeah.
And suddenly,
guys, I just remembered.
And suddenly Nick takes a detour.
Yeah.
We see our off ramp
Yeah.
a mile down the road, but Nick decides we need to get out here.
We're gonna have Bugs Bunny making a left at Albuquerque.
All right, that's it, gang. So on behalf of the Oh My Geek Podcast, this is Jesse.
This is He-Man.
We'll talk to you kids later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good,
It
though.
could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!